of giving an award to the Rectorate, of course, for all the support. So we'll invite the Rector to come and receive his award on behalf of the university. Traveled from a far distance. We'd like to invite you also, guest of honor, to come and receive your award and just say thank you from the Zambian community. We would like to give this time now to our guest of honor who has traveled a long way so that he may now give us a speech. Sir, the floor is all yours now, sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It has been characterized by one of the greatest Africans, and in this sense, when we use the word Africa, the word Pan-Africanism shall be predominant in this presentation. We're talking of one of the greatest historians, Walter Rodney, from Guyana in South America. That was an African. He characterized Africa, this culture, as a continent of drums and percussion. So that in this discussion we're having this evening, there will be, of course, the upset, but a lot of singing and so on. So we'll start with the Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. A university student tieni mwe limba moy. Tieni mwe limba moy. Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Rector, Vice Rector, and Vice Rector, all protocols observed. I've deliberately left out mentioning names. I don't want to make a mistake. I want to start by expressing how overwhelmed on behalf of Zambia and as a Pan-Africanist of Africa, because I speak here as a Pan-Africanist, as you saw, over the overwhelming reception which we received from the airport to the stay. The days that I've been here, it has really been a life-changing experience. They conducted a tour to this great university, which was done this morning. This is a world university. I was impressed with seeing a person who is introducing part of what Zambia is all about, to be coming from Oman, impressed with the statistics which were given. 18,000 students, of whom a great proportion of that is from Africa. And then 553 members of the faculty, of whom who come from 29 different countries. Not only that, many other studies with big projects, making this a world university. We would like to congratulate you, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, for achieving that goal of having a world university in 20 years. It's a big achievement. Let's give a round of applause. This is what we are fighting for as Africans for many years. We have been always fighting for, to have something like this, so that Cyprus International University has given us an opportunity to achieve one of the goals of Pan-Africanism. What animal is the Pan-African? What is it all about? To know Pan-Africanism well, you must look at that particular diagram, that particular photo rather. It depicts the beginning of Pan-Africanism. There was a time, starting from 1442, when the African, the black person, started being dehumanized, and he was a beast of burden. There was a time you could go to a marketplace, and the person would say, "Here is my slave. You can see how muscular he is, and so on. Can you buy it at so many pounds? So many whatever." And starting from that time, the African has been fighting to restore or to reverse that humanization, so that he can enjoy equal status among all the people of the world. And this is why we are proud to have been invited to this particular world university, where people from all parts of the world are here studying in peace. A sign that many goals of Pan-Africanism are being achieved, of bringing back the esteem. As I stand here, I remember a great Pan-Africanist. Among them is Frantz Fanon, a great Pan-Africanist from the Caribbean, Martinique, an African, who wrote a powerful, who contributed greatly to the philosophy of Pan-Africanism. And that he had a message for the young people who are studying at CIU and other universities. He says, each generation must, out of obscurity, discover its mission, fulfill it or betray it in relative opacity. That is excellent. And what is the mission of people at CIU and the other universities? Your mission at the moment is for you to study hard in your various schools of learning, education, engineering, and so on, so that you can be at the level of world-class citizens. Without that, it will be very difficult for Africa to realize its goals of enjoying the esteem. Now we sang that song of Tiende Pamozi Limtima Umo. It's a very important song in the sense that it was translated by the president, in the sense that at the time it was being devised. The country whose independence we are celebrating today, liberation had halted at that particular. There is a river which acted like the symbolic barrier, which forms the boundary between the southern part of Africa, which was the bastion of racist minority regimes, which still believed in racial supremacy, and then the free north. Something was the last of that wave of liberation. So the second stanza that we said Africa is a continent of drums and percussions goes. We want to extend the borders of freedom beyond the Zambezi in one spirit. Tiende pamozi ntimtima umo. Sometimes let's go. Tuoloke Zambezi ntimtima umo. Tuoloke Zambezi ntimtima umo. I see you student anywhere. Limbamo, anywhere. Limbamo, tiende pamozi ntimtima umo. The message march together in one spirit to come and extend the frontiers of freedom to beyond the Zambezi. This was achieved in 1975 with the achievement of independence of Mozambique and Angola. Then 1980 with the achievement of independence of Zimbabwe. 18th April 1980, the frontier changed. There was another symbolic barrier between the apartheid South Africa and Namibia and the free Africa. So we had the Limpopo, which was nothing like the symbolic barrier. It became Tioroke Limpopo Nimtima Umo. Was the final achieved. Namibia got its independence 21 March 1990. And 27th April 1994, Africans in South Africa were able to vote for the first time. All races, without discrimination, voted. And overwhelmingly, the vote went to the main liberation movement, African National Congress. And 10th May 1994, we had Nelson Mandela reliving this history of from the chains up to where we are today, proclaiming to the whole world that famous quote, never separate that among these are life, liberty, and happiness. 13 years later, the French did their own revolution with the slogans, equality, liberty, fraternity. 25 years after the French Revolution, the first country to get liberation. You get independence from each other. And you get experience from each other, whether it's written or not. So there is no doubt in my mind that after the Zambezi, were to resort to armed struggle. And that one of the experiences people learned was that of the armed struggle to have Turkey united from the Ottoman Empire. And that's why we are grateful to great leaders like Atatürk, who taught the world that it is possible to unite a country where possible, according to the Declaration of America, where possible, using arms if necessary. There is a lot that I may have needed to say, but in Africa, we believe that in order for a dance festival to be nice, to be enjoyable, to be exciting, it becomes nice if at all one dancer comes on the stage, another followed by another, followed by another, followed by another. Not the same dancer throughout. And I just want to say thank you to Hazid, to Mr. Abdul, the others. Madam Hazar, when she came to Zambia, invited me, she said, no, you must come to Cyprus one day. I didn't know it would come so soon. So to give chance to other dancers for this festival and so on, please let them come on stage. Let me end with I forgot one thing. The struggle for equal esteem is not yet over. You heard of Charlottesville in America. We haven't yet produced a president in Brazil, but we're told it's the second. Africans haven't produced the same, they don't enjoy the same esteem. We're told after Nigeria is the next biggest, where the biggest population of black people is Brazil. But it's not possible yet to have produced a president. But we have produced one whose father was from Kenya in America. And then many other challenges. We have heard of footballers being booed, like Balotelli, being booed for being black. So there is still a long way to go. And until that time, we shall continue singing that song. Lastly, it is Ngugi who said, listen attentively. If at all we are going to enjoy this, to feel that yes, we have reached there, we can enjoy the same esteem. Ngugi is a powerful writer, nominated many times for the Nobel Peace Prize. He says, until that day, when a ravishingly black woman, real black, wins the Miss World contest, then it means we have not yet reached the destiny that we need. Until we reach that day, we should continue saying, Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. Tiende pamozi ndimtima umo. Go to the leader.
Thank you, sir, for that speech. We are really honored to have been able to sit and listen to a great man like yourself. As African youth, it is very rare when we get to hear in such instances a great man speak to us. Some of us take these things for granted, but we honor you, sir, and we thank you for being with us. What's up, man? I got to drink the program.